Hello, boys and girls. I hope you're having a good day today. Our lesson will be on SQL. It's an introduction to SQL, and we will focus on retrieving information from a database. So what is SQL? SQL is your structured query language. It's the standardized programming language that is used to communicate with the database. SQL statements are used to perform tasks such as insert, delete, update, as well as retrieve or display information. So we're looking at using SQL to access a database. Now to revise, let's look at access. Access is the database that we are using. I'm going to look at a database for movies. It can have like two tables, for example, table movies, table studios. Now, under table movies, we have records and fields. Now, each heading here represents a field. Field is an item of data explaining one aspect of a record. For example, for the first movie, 2012, the field for it is your ID number, your title, the studio at which the movie was filmed, your income, your release date, and even your genre. And then we have your second record is Alice in Wonderland. So these are all records. So records comprises of fields. And the fields again, like your ID, your title, your income, your genre, these are all fields of a movie. We can access information about movies either using a structured query language like SQL. Remember, SQL can be used in all your programming languages. We can run SQL statements. That includes our Delphi. We have accessed already records in a database or in a table, records in a table, but we have accessed it using code construct. If you can recall, code construct required us opening the database table, going to the first record, and loop through the entire database table and display information that is required, like your title or your income, or all the information, or all the fields that may be required are displayed within the loop. And then we went to the next record. So we started at the first, we looped through it, we went to the next record, and it continued until we reached the end of all records in a table. Now we're going to do the similar idea, but we're going to use it with using your SQLs. So again, your SQL is your structured query language. It's going to be used to communicate with the database. We are going to perform tasks again as insert, delete, and update in your database. We will do this or use SQL in your Delphi programming language. But for now, we're going to teach you how to, or I'm going to teach you how to simply write the statements out, or you can type the statements in Access. So our focus is going to ensure that you have the structure correct and how to create your SQL statements. Thereafter, we will implement it in Delphi. Now, your first statement or your first command is your select command. In your select command, we're able to select what fields we want. So the syntax for your select command is select. You list your fields that you want to select from your database. If you recall, we had the title, the income, and release date as some of the fields, and the genre. So if you want to select that, so we're simply going to select those fields and from and the table name, which is our TBL movies. So if we look at the red font, just select and from. These statements here these are reserved words in the statement. So in your SQL statement, the select and the from are reserved words. They're also in capital. It is not compulsory for you to type it in capital or write it in capital, but it's to remind you that this uppercase words are, or the capital words are reserved words. Now, if you want to select movies and income, if that is a statement, select movies and income, so it will be select and the two fields are your title, comma, separated by comma, income from table movies. So select title, comma, income will only give you the title and income fields for all movies. So we're going to try that here. Now to run an SQL statement in in Access, we need to go to database tools. We need to go to create, and we're going to create a design, query design. We're going to select table movies. I selected two by mistake, so I'll remove one table. So we've selected table movies. Now we need to go to where we have view option here. There's an SQL view. So we're going to choose SQL view, and this is where you type your information. Now what I need to select is the title, and we wanted to select, if you look at our statement example again, it says select title and income. So I'm going to select title, comma, income, and it is from TBL movies. And we're going to run the SQL statement. It gives you just the title and the income. That's how we extract information using SQL. I'm going to close this for now, no saving. Right, I simply closed only the table, the query for the table. Our next one is more examples here on using the select. Select is used whenever we need to display anything or extract or retrieve anything from your database. So it's to retrieve or display data from a database. So we're going to focus on select. In this recording, we will then show you how to use the insert, delete, and update. Under select, if you want to select the titles and release dates, so we say select title, comma, release date from table movies. If we're selecting names and cities, so select name, comma, city. Now these fields, the names here used here needs to be the exact field name in your database. So for open table movies, you need to use title, income, release date. Release date has an underscore, so it will only work if you use an underscore. So if I'm going to create another query, create design view, I'm going to add table movies, going to go and into SQL view, going to select release date. Now if I simply put in release, date without an underscore over the space, and I'm going to use, let's say, genre, something different. And I'm going to run. It tells you, enter parameter values, telling you that something is wrong. There's no release date. So you need to ensure that your field name is correct. There's the release date and there's the genre. That's what select does for you. I do not have to create a query every time I need one. I can go here and change it. We go to view, SQL view, and you can change your queries. Going back to the next example here. Names and cities, as I said, name, comma, city. But this is from TBL Studios. So it means when you run if you're running for TBL Studios, then you're going to create a new query. And this time it will be based on studios. And if you go to SQL view, then you can select, let's look at our example again. We're selecting name and cities, city with the Y. Name, city, of which you can find the studio, and you run, you have the name and the city, so the Y. If I put IES, it will give me an error. So this was based on TBL Studios. So your SQLs can be based on any table, and the fields must be from that table. Now, what if we need to view all the fields in a table? then we need to simply state, we can select field name and we can list all the fields from the table. It will work. But if it is all the fields, an easier option is to put an asterisk at the start. This is a wildcard. It's referred to as a wildcard, which means it lists everything in your table. So if I go here to the one on movies, so if I want all the information, I simply put an asterisk and I run it, I will get all the information. So that's what the asterisk does. Now, what if I need to know what kind of genres that we have? If I want to display genres for your table movies, normally I will go select genre on table movie. It's going to give me all the genres, but there's a lot of duplication. So now I have to check in to see exactly what genres. I have to go through each one. So what if I just want a list of what genres are on offer or available, which means I need to use a special statement or special word. Reserved word is called distinct. Now your reserved words again are in uppercase or capital. So select distinct genre from table movies. Distinct would means it will take one of each. So if I go here and I'm going to go to the SQL statements, I'm going to use the word distinct. Now distinct is in capital letters to tell you it's a reserved word. But if I do type it in smaller or lowercase, it will still give me one of each. So these are the genres: action, adventure, animated drama. There's one of each, simply by using the word distinct. Again, distinct can be in uppercase. You can't have it all in lowercase, even select, it will work. But these statements here are given to remind you, or these examples are to remind you that these are now in uppercase. These worksheets that I'm using are from your DBE, Department of Education textbook that you have. So this is a summary of all the SQL statements. The unique cities, if I need to display unique cities from table TBL Studios, it means I want a list of all the cities. I don't want duplication. So basically with distinct, you won't get duplication. So I select distinct city, it'll give me a list of the cities that's available. If I want a list of the provinces, it will be distinct province, so I get one province each. It says here the unique release date of movies from TBL movies is an error here. Right, it's basically a typing error from the textbook. It should be select distinct. Distinct what? Yes, distinct release date of movies. So it will be select distinct release date from TBL movies. So your asterisk here should be replaced by release date. So we're looking at select distinct release date on TBL movies. It should give you, each of these dates will be unique. There is no repetition of dates. Although that use of release date, distinct release date is not really necessary, unlike wanting the list of province, cities or provinces. But the correct answer will be select distinct release date from TBL movies. Now, sometimes we may want to display your records in order, in descending order or ascending order, highest to lowest or lowest to highest. So you list your fields again from TBL name, but there's a special reserved words we use that's called order by. So now introduced to order by. We've used select, we use the word from, we use the word distinct. Now we use the word order by. So you're going to select these fields from table, whatever table name, and order by whatever field and order type. Remember, when you're sorting, it must be by specific field that you want to sort, that you have an interest in. For example, order from the highest to the lowest income. So you're going to select all, in this case it's all, the wildcard or the asterisk. Select all from TBR movies. Order by. What do you want to order by? Income. And in descending order. So it will be the highest, descending, highest to lowest. So this will give you a list of all table movies by the income. So let's see how it works in SQL. So we're going to select all we set from TBR movies. I'm going to write this in one line. That's fine. Now there's an order by that appears. The order by is after we've selected what fields we want. Remember, we're selecting whatever fields we want from your table. Then we now want to display it in a certain order. So we're going to order by, what is it? By income. Sorry, the field is called income. Then you can go in descending. Now in this case, use capital or lowercase for descending or ascending ASC. It does not run, the SQL does not run on lowercase for the ascending and descending. That's the only exception to the rule. That's the only one that needs to be in uppercase to run. All the other reserved words can run in lower or uppercase, except for DESC and ascending ASC. So there's the highest. Avatar is the highest income or earning movie, followed by the Titanic, then Star Wars, and so on. Jurassic World is somewhere down the line. And the lowest earning is, well, Independence Day is just typed now, nothing there. No earnings yet, but Deadpool 2 in our database records. So we go back here. If we want it in ascending order, we simply put in an ASC. And the lowest one. Independence Day, which is no income currently, and Deadpool 2. Now we can also order by, for example, genre or title. You can get in alphabetical order of title. So we simply use order by title. We will get all the movies because we're selecting all, but the field that's important is title. ASC is the same thing as alphabetical order. Just remember that. ASC is the same as alphabetical order because the ASCII value of your A is lower than the B. So it's in ascending order because Z will have a higher SQ value than A. So to go from the lowest A to the highest Z. But A for ascending, A for alphabetical will solve your problem. All right. So A is the lowest and goes down in alphabetical order to Z, Zootopia. That is now in order, sorted by order. So that is for sort. So here's order by income, order by scores, order by release date. You can order by more than one field, which we don't have here, for example. Let's order by title. Okay, there won't be two movies with the same title, so let's use genre. Let's just go for genre first. Right, if you order in ascending order of genre, we have action first. If you want to order by genre and while it's in action, you're doing first, from action, you may want, for example, the lowest or highest in terms of income. So you can have two SQLs. You can order by genre, comma, and you can go by your income. Whereas descending order or your ascending order. If I run that, all the action movies here, and in action, this is sorted in descending order. Then your next genre is adventure, starting with the highest paid or highest in earning movie, coming down to 11,000. So this, or the order by statement allows more than one sort. You can have 3 sorts to comma and something else, right? So that is possible. The next one is your where statement. Your where statement is when you want to display records based on some condition. So you're going to select your field names from a table where you're going to have a condition. And it's easier to see it in an example. For example, here we've got to select title from TBL movies where genre is equal to superhero. So it means all movies where the genre is equal to superhero. Note the quotes there. As you need your quotes for your text. Whenever you're displaying text, it needs to be in quotes. So if we're looking at select assets from table movies, let's use the where statement. Remember, where is a reserved word, so it's in capital or uppercase. Where genre equal to superhero. So if we run that, we only have the superhero genre shown, nothing else, just a superhero. So that's where we base a condition. You can have more than one condition. You can have genre, a superhero, and what other fields we can use? We can use, okay, maybe we want 2 genres, superhero, or we can have genre is equal to action. So we'll have 2. That means you cannot choose an and here because a genre, for we're assuming there's only one type of genre, either a superhero or an action. Because according to our database, TBR movies, you will see we have only one genre listed. So a movie cannot be both action and superhero. So it's one of the 2. So therefore we have the or statement. Superhero genre is action. If we run that, sorry, okay, it's under design, wasn't the wrong option, wrong menu option, under design. I run that, so I have action and a superhero and nothing else. If you want to use and, for example, you want it to be superhero and maybe it must be on a certain date, or you can have a certain score. Right, so that's where you can have an and statement. Superhero and, okay, let's say action and 59. Let's see if that is possible. So we'll say with superhero. Okay, sorry, genre is action. And the score is, I'm not sure exactly what we're working with score, but score is equal to 59 as the position of the movie. But it's scoring 59 and it's an action movie. So these are the 2 action movies. And see, the and statement means both of them must be true. You will note that we have a not equal to. This is not equal to, less than or greater than. So it's not equal to 4, where studio is not equal to 4. So list of movies. This is from your studio table, where studio is not equal to 4. This is income greater. Then there's a whole lot of zeros here. Okay, I need, where income is greater than equal to, some billion is 100 billion. I need to count 3, 6, I lost track of this number of zeros there. And the income is greater than a certain amount where ID number is less than 10. You'll notice that these values here are integer values. numeric values, so they are not in quotes, and that is in quotes. Studio ID less than 3 from your studio table. Note in SQL, strings must be surrounded by single quote marks, single quotation marks normally used in Delphi. In Delphi, we use the other way around, actually. There's an error in this as well. If you look at, we've got single quotes, but in Delphi, when we do that, we'll come back to it. In Delphi, when we run our SQLs in Delphi, we'll show you need a double quote for Delphi. But for Access, both single and double works. Now in Delphi, it's a double quote because your normal quotation marks in Delphi, and normal string handling is single. So SQLs are therefore now double quotes because they will be found within the single quotes used in Delphi. But we'll come back to that again. So for now, single quotes will work in Access, but we're going to then focus on double quotes. Spoke to you about wildcard. There's your Access symbol. We have a question mark. We've got an asterisk for wildcard. But we're using in wildcard for Delphi, the symbol is your percentage sign. Now, what does this mean? This 1 and 0 to many. Okay, let's just check if we, okay, what Boolean. Okay. I think we'll come back to using wildcards and the like operator in the next video. So we'll end with this video here. This video ends with just using the simple where clause with the comparison operators of equal to, or your relation operators of equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, and the use of quotation marks when we're talking about text. And if it's numerical values, there are no quotation marks. Also remember, we've done, recap very quickly, we've done an order by to sort. So order by income or order by scores. You can order by more than one by separating it with a comma. We've also done distinct, where you get one of each field. And we've got your normal SQLs where you display your field names. In the next lesson, we'll discuss the where clause with the different types of conditions that are possible. As the most complex your SQL statements can be for your select is when it comes to use of your where clause. Your where clause becomes a lot more involved, carries more marks, but there's potential to get very good marks if you understand it. So in the next lesson, boys and girls, we'll continue with the where clause. Bye for now.